What's going on, good people? It's your boy Eric Taylor, Taylored2U Astrology, and I am back with my Sagittarius New Moon video. Yeah, it's that time again. We're leaving Scorpio season on November 22nd, and November 23rd, we have the Sagittarius New Moon at 1 degrees, 5:57 PM Eastern, 2:57 PM Pacific, right? Mountain, it's 3:57. And the sun and the moon will be at 1 degree in Sagittarius. Okay, and we made it. The solar eclipse on October 25th, the lunar Taurus blood, eclipse. November's been interesting. It's been rough, tough. So the sun and moon in Sagittarius at 1 degree. That's the Jupiter energy. And Venus will be at 9 degrees and Mercury at 10 degrees. Okay. So what does this all mean as we get this Sagittarius boost and season? Feeling a little bit more lighter, seeing the light again, being optimistic, fortunate, kind of moving into a new stage or level of enlightenment, right? Because if you've been putting in the work, and I mean the kind of rituals of Sagittarius, right? Meditating, praying, positive affirmations, positive self-talk, self-love, you can tend to feel like this can be a little gift, because it's also coinciding with Jupiter retrograde at 28 degrees, Mars squaring Neptune, and Mars trining Saturn, right? Mars in Gemini, 21, Saturn direct at 19 in Aquarius, and Neptune and Pisces. I think we're gonna go inside and look at the chart, but I think that might be at 22 degrees. So, at this time, we have really got to breathe for a second. Get outdoors, spend time in nature, kind of maybe put on some nice clothes again, maybe share our beliefs and philosophies, but in a positive way, right? This is an energy where you don't want to be to one side, right? Because Jupiter energy can over exaggerate. Sometimes the Sagittarius moon can be a little about the law, very preachy, teachy, the wisdom, the truth seeker and speaker. It's different from the Scorpio version of it. That's much more intense, much more probing, investigating, which this Mars square Neptune energy can make us do anyway. Are we growing spiritually? Are we communicating? Are we saying the right words? Are we criticizing other people's spiritual journeys? Because that's not what we want to do. This is like being a little bit more neutral and being optimistic and positive, but zooming out like Sagittarius does, the big picture, and considering other people's perspectives. Now that's hard, especially in America after an election and this and that and all the drama. But I think this energy is a time for us at 1 degrees, the individual, to be the leaders of our own lives and own paths, and not to finger point and blame, but to kind of, what's our role in it? Who are we in it? What are we to teach, believe, share, prophesize, right? And try to be as optimistic and positive and, blunt as you can be. Because Sagittarius can't help but be blunt, okay? But I do think with the ruler of Sagittarius, Jupiter, being in its other home sign of Pisces, even though it's retrograde, I think we can kind of assess and analyze in ourselves, what have we been doing? How have we been doing? How you feeling? I'm good. Are you good? Because it's been a lot, I know for the Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius ascendants, hey birdie, it's definitely been challenging energy. So having things shift for Scorpio rising to your second house, right? For Taurus rising to your 8th house. And by the way, this ascendant is for the November 23rd, 5:57 p.m. Eastern. It's a Taurus rising with the Uranus North Node and the part of fortune in Taurus. So that still connects us. See, this is where Taurus and Sagittarius are very connected, because it's still about finding the pleasure and joy in nature. Sagittarius is very much about nature and adventures, traveling, exploring, which we will be doing over the holidays, right? Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah and everything. And then Taurus is about getting back to nature and the physical body grounded to the crystals, the gems, the fruits, the animals, the plants. So it's fitting that this ascendant is in Taurus. You've got the Goddess of Harvest series in Virgo in the 5th house. So, I know we really need to kind of find our inner truth from the perspective of leaving Scorpio, where you might have been in the cave, to now the other side of the truth of Sag, that's like I'm outside the mountain and I see the sunlight beaming on me, right? And I feel it, and I feel blessed and fortunate and optimistic that there is another day, that we had our grand rising, that we're back, we're here, we're not defeated, we're victorious. And Mars trining Saturn can bring some of our motivations and our energy and action, and even with our words, to more of a real place with that Saturn. This is preparing us, you guys, for 2023, where Mars, it won't ever get into a trine with Saturn and Pisces, but it will when it goes to Cancer, but Mars in Gemini won't get to the square of Saturn and Pisces. So understand that you still have to be self-motivated, and not just verbally, but through your actions and groups and trying to form and shape the realities that you need to survive 2023, to end 2022. Right? This Sagittarius New Moon will then get us kind of prepared for the Gemini full moon. Okay? And these are new beginnings, new starts, just like the number 1, right? It's literally like I said earlier, coming from the cave to now you're at the edge of the mountain, and you're, or at the edge of the cave, and you're back in the sunlight. You've left the darkness, and you're starting to see more reality and more truth. But it doesn't always have to be the negative argument of it. It can just be your perspective and then finding out what is the governing system for you and your tribe, your collective, your family, your spouse, your partner, your heart and soul, that is going to create a level of knowledge of self and wisdom and self-love. Remember, Venus and Sagittarius and Mercury is still kind of this, Mercury, Venus kind of traveling together, which creates like a fixed star spica energy, where there needs to be some creativity. There needs to be some self-love, some positive talk, some positive affirmations. Well, in Sagittarius, it's going to be a little bit more about knowledge, higher learning, wisdom, and beliefs, philosophies, and truth. But it's also understanding and seeing and respecting other cultures, other ways, other people. And seeing and maybe even learning how they did it, how our ancestors did it, and how they survived without civilization being on top of nature for thousands of years. This civilization that we're in, being on top of nature now and almost rebuking nature, has gotten us too far off. And so now we need to come back and correct it. And I think this new moon is a time for that realization, to understand that with this Taurus rising and, all the purging and detoxing we did with Scorpio, South Node and Scorpio season, that we kind of got to get back to what? The nature of the plant medicine and the truth and the garden and kind of growing our own food. Right now, there's a battle and a war going on with that. Attack on the small farmers, on the individuals, and people trying to control our food and food supply and continue the toxins and poisons against us. We just can't have it. No mas. So, really think about how you can step into this new moon and what will be the fresh start and the new beginning for yourself. How can you make your life more fortunate? How can you be more optimistic, and then share those beliefs and philosophies to others? Try not to be so blunt and preachy with it, but just the harmonious aspect of finding pleasure and beauty in these conversations and in these pontifications and zooming out for the big picture. Because Mercury in Sag is debilitated. So you can get arrogant, you can get kind of blunt and point the fingers at others. That's not going to serve you. There's got to be more neutral, and the not just self-actualization, but being self-reliant, rely on yourself. But then you also have to pour that wisdom, right? Saturn and Aquarius, be disciplined to, practice what you preach, but then help others and share it in that fortunate, optimistic way. Listen, I know some of these things can just sound kind of big and abstract, but we all signed up to be born now at this time. So we are built for this. We can handle this, and we have great responsibilities. Don't try to step away and be like, no, you know what I mean? You've been called. And especially for people who are in the spiritual community, or light workers or healers, whether it's tarot or Reiki, massage therapy, psychics, intuitives, human design, astrology, numerology, whatever it is, naturopathic, homeopathic doctors, everybody that's trying to better humanity in the collective, big responsibility. If you've got the wisdom and the knowledge, you cannot hoard it. You need to teach it and share it. Try not to preach it and be so blunt and arrogant about it, but try to be, try to find your inner magic to pour it out like a smooth, sticky honey. The honey is not supposed to be cooked and heated. The most it should be in is lukewarm room temperature. The honey itself is medicine. So allow that pure medicine to be beneficial, just like with the garlic and the cayenne pepper and the ginger. Watch out that you don't, this is in the 8th house, this Sagittarius New Moon and Sun and Mercury and Venus. So this is still got a Scorpio type energy to it. So there is still some deep introspection. There still is some digging up and revealing the ancient artifacts of what is real and truth. We're still going to have some things come up. Pluto's still 26 degrees Capricorn, marching forward to a little sneak preview from March to May of 2023 of Pluto in Aquarius, then retrograding back. So more stuff's coming. And, the midheaven and Pluto are in the 9th house in this chart, in Capricorn. The Aquarius 10th house is where Saturn is at. So the authority and government is still strong in play. And that square to Taurus, Uranus on the ascendant, it's not exact anymore. But it still vibrates. I believe it does. So there's still the confrontation of the I am individual dealing with the rules, structures of the government, especially over the internet. I mean, think of, the stuff over the internet that still has come down on Kanye or Kyrie. I'm not getting into right, wrong, and different. I'm just stating the fact of that square. Uranus in Taurus with the North Node on the ascendant and part of fortune, squaring Saturn Aquarius 10th house. Very fascinating. And the Pluto midheaven in the 9th house, you'll see on the chart, I'm going to show you on the computer, what transformations need to happen worldwide to affect everyone's kind of vibrating light in their career, what beliefs and philosophies. You have to ask that for your individual self. And you still have Black Moon, true Black Moon Lilith in Cancer in the 3rd house for this chart. Are we finding our tribe in our local community? Are we speaking our deep knowing inner truth? Are we tapping into the root chakra, right? Sharing our knowledge with our cousins, our neighbors, the siblings, social media. Oh yeah, Lilith will be rebellious, but right now, for this new moon, that's what's vibrating in the 3rd house. True Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. So take that how you will take it. So so I'm gonna show you a little bit of the chart and wrap up the video and close out with my sale coming up for this day, November 23rd until December 31st. And Sagittarius New Moon 1 degrees, November 23rd. This is also dealing with a bachelorette energy in the house of merging, power, sex, control, in-laws, sudden events. So Let's see how that plays out with other people's money, the truth, the wisdom behind it. There's a lot still at play. And, you know, there can still be these kind of karmic, fated experiences that might not feel so good. It can feel like a tax. But sometimes, you know, with this ascendant in Taurus, the Scorpio South Node, 7th house, still got to purge and detox the other half. Some business contracts, some negotiations, some things in the marketplace. Still needs to be transformed and purged because it's been toxic. So get a little quiet. Really think about what it is you still have got to let go and purge, especially not just for this new moon, but as the Scorpio season winds down, but also even for Sagittarius season. With this new moon energy being the Taurus rising in the Scorpio 7th house, it's still asking you, don't stay in any toxic business relationship, long-term relationship, marriage, any bad business deals, contracts, negotiations, purchasing things that you don't need. It's time for the truth. So stop lying to yourself. The Jupiter conjunct Neptune energy, it's, you know, getting closer. But remember, Jupiter stationing direct on the 23rd. And it will go marching towards Aries. It goes back to Aries December 20th, late night. So I told you from October 27th, 28th to December 20th is this little gift of Jupiter back in Pisces. But it's not bad in Aries. And then we'll go to Taurus later in 2023. But just tap into that. And it's stationing direct. It's gonna start to, it's still kind of dissolving. The 28th and 29th degree, it's you know, it's really 27 is where the Pisces has completed its energy. 28, 29, it's already starting to ingress into Aries. So it's almost like a cusp of rebirth energy. So what are we kind of birthing again in our 11th house? What groups, organizations, what relationships and friend groups, what hopes and dreams? You answer that for yourself and hit me up and let me know. All right, Taylored2U Astrology, Taylored2Coaching@gmail.com. I'm gonna go inside and look at the chart and just understand that this new moon energy, it is it's here to kind of give you the light, the belief, the philosophy, the wisdom, the higher learning, and the truth. So embrace it. And it's on you. It's not someone else's version of the truth. It's the truth that you have in your heart and your soul, in your root chakra, in your body. That's why Lilith is in Cancer, 3rd house. But that means, you know, maybe you still need some private isolation. Jupiter, Neptune, Pisces, if you haven't done the work, to know what is your truth. You have to know that for yourself. It's not on Facebook or Twitter or Rumble or Instagram or Telegram or YouTube. It's between you and God. It's on you. It's on you. Oh yeah. Sagittarius New Moon, November 23rd, 2022, 5:57 p.m. Eastern, is the Taurus rising, as you see. So I think, like I was saying, the part of fortune, Uranus and North Node, really does, give a sense of spiritual and financial blessings in the I am energy when you're connected to your value, self-worth, and nature. And, we did talk about this Lilith, third house, Cancer, the house of your siblings, cousins, neighbors, local community, but your writing and communications. And that Mars, Gemini, retrograde in the second house of your values, this could have us cussing a lot. But as you see, it is in trine to the Saturn in the 10th house, okay, in Aquarius. That's the authority. And we spoke about the 11th house with the Jupiter and the Neptune. And Jupiter is stationed direct. And there's Juno. So we kind of need to fall in love with groups, the internet, in spiritual, optimistic ways. But it's, all about this 8th house with the new moon energy. Having the moon and the sun 1 degrees, and Venus at 9 and Mercury at 10. So understand with that Pluto midheaven in the 9th house, it's really like Scorpio and Sag are reverse. But it's Sag and Capricorn. But there's a transformation and a magnetic energy with our wisdom and beliefs. And we've got to investigate our power, control, sudden events, our trauma, to really be optimistic, come out of the darkness and understand that self-love, positive affirmations, and, just this energy of this stellium in Sagittarius for this time is a new start, a new beginning to create the discipline and the rituals to help you with the transmutation and transformation of your wisdom, beliefs, and higher learning. And it's important. This is definitely an energy that's really speaking to how we can be neutral and not taking sides, be optimistic in our individual truth, right? Being self-reliant and understanding our own value and self-worth, connecting to our 5 senses, and finding that value. Okay? And the Mars squaring this Neptune, there might be some spiritual groups that we don't need to connect with. There might be some deception that we don't need to engage in over the internet. Or not following, like I said before, other people's versions of the truth, but finding it for ourselves with our own internal introspection, Black Moon, Lilith, Cancer. All right? So, Sagittarius New Moon. As I wrap up, I want us to understand that Sagittarius season is here, and we got to be positive and optimistic. And let's seek the truth. So, happy holidays. The birth chart sale, okay? you email your boy, Taylored2U@gmail.com. And, you know, the live charts from November 23rd to December 31st midnight are going to be only $90. Any of my full birth chart services, from natal to solar return, second day progressions, business birth charts, normally $175. Okay. We're bringing those down to $120. Okay. And then for the big full 12-house written report, custom video summary, 40 to 50 minutes, normally $250, will be $200. So enjoy. Hit me up, Taylored2U@gmail.com. You see what's going on here. It's all about my gift to you. It's time to take advantage of my sale and my services. And I wish you all happy holidays. All right. Eric Taylor, Taylored2U Astrology.